Good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 59 of the 72 review. Jake was here for a second. He's disappeared. I think he's back. There we go. We were chatting just before we went live.
I pressed something and it went wrong. He didn't like it.
I thought you kicked him out already. We're not even started.
Yeah, I've had enough of him. See you later. It's a good place to start. Jake, introduce yourself to the viewers. Let them know who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
I am Puncture41. I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan channel. I cover everything Wednesday. I'm hoping I'm going to be busy in the next couple of days, but we'll see. It's been a naff window. Well, we've got 2 players. It's more than last year, but yeah. And I also do a Talking Wednesday podcast, which is a podcast with myself, Worko's on here, and the host, James. And we just talk about everything Wednesday.
Lovely stuff. And next to me, happy this weekend. Rotherham didn't lose. It's Ian. Let us know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate.
Hello, I'm Ian. I'm a 61-year-old Rotherham season ticket holder that's very happy that we didn't lose yesterday. The fact that we didn't play has got nothing to do with it. When the Millers are away, I vlog up and down the country for the Over the Bar YouTube channel. And while I'm here, I've got a choice of 3 games on the 10th of February to go to. And I'd like your opinions in the chat. It's either Blackpool Oxford in League One, Wigan against Exeter in League One, or Crewe against Crawley in League Two.
Dan, if you go on to the YouTube channel, your YouTube channel bit, you should be able to do a poll. And if you can run it as a poll,
I'll try that. Yeah, I could try that. Yeah,
run a poll on this. It might be able to do it that way.
It might be, yeah, but if I get some opinions on your
Only here, mate.
You proper curveball, Dan.
Right. Ian's trip. Tell me him again. Blackpool
against Oxford
versus Oxford.
Wigan against Exeter.
Wigan versus Exeter.
Or League Two, Crewe against Crawley.
I'm very sorry if this doesn't work.
It should do. All you do, press it, and then it'll come up, and then people vote for it, and then we can go halfway through at the end. We can see where people.
It's come up.
There we go. Every day's a school day, isn't it?
I thought that was something people knew about, or not?
No, certainly not. So yeah, vote in the poll. That's something new for this one. And finally, Lee, let everybody know who you are, what you do, and why you do it, mate.
Yeah, so I'm Lee. Around the grounds, there's my father, right, Dad. Around the grounds, groundhopper for my YouTube channel. Absolutely loving bringing the content, and very full still after yesterday's little feast that we had. With
little.
I'm gonna play it down a bit, Jake.
Honestly, lads, every time Dean brought another dish in, he was smirking because he could just see that the food was getting like higher and higher, and we were struggling. But,
have you ever watched that Man v Food?
Yes.
Yeah.
I proper felt like that at one bit. And when you were tackling them first few courses, I had to slow you down, Dan, because.
You know what? I thought we only had like 5 or 6 to try, and yeah, there were about 16.
You know, if you're going to do this again, you need to make sure you don't eat for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. We've got John in the chat as well. Greeting, gents. Quick question: do you lot do anything special for Yorkshire Pudding Day?
I eat Yorkshire puddings.
Yeah.
John's massively against your mushy peas.
He's working on a mushy pea recipe though, so
nice.
We'll give him credit for trying.
Yep.
Yeah, he keeps calling us English weird.
In Finley.
We are.
I've got something new.
Seriously?
I've got something new for the soundboard, lads. Now, if it goes a bit like where we fight or anything like that, or the chat gets a bit rowdy, I've got something new.
Order!
Like it. Good evening, Finley. It's always nice to know that you're watching as well.
Evening, mate.
Yeah.
John said Dan's getting over the Donny result, and you do that to him. Shocking. Yeah, it is.
Finley, I did tell you it were in my man cave. There it is, mate.
Hey.
There you go.
Lovely stuff. ATIDs against Mushy Peas as well. What a start to the
What
show.
a weird.
This is a football show, guys, if you are new to this, honestly.
To ATI comment from Ian in the top corner.
Fuck off.
He
You
says
didn't have to tell him it were me.
it's not English, it's just Northern. There we go.
Oh,
so-
ouch.
If you are new to this, what we do is we go through all 3 EFL divisions. Obviously, it's FA Cup weekend, 4th round this weekend, so we will go through FA Cup as well. Obviously, Sheffield Wednesday played FA Cup Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, Friday. So we'll touch on that. But yeah, there's been a few games across the 3 divisions. Obviously, get your comments in. It does drive conversation, as you've already seen. We do go off on tangents and stuff. But yeah, we'll hopefully fly through this as we normally do in around an hour or so. So stick with us, get in the comments, get in the chat, obviously talk to each other, keep it respectful as always. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So I'm thinking we will start in the Championship because there wasn't too many games there. There's only 4 games played this weekend.
Yeah.
Leeds 1, Norwich 0. Let me just get the banner up. I'm having a nightmare. You've thrown me, Jake, with this poll. Leeds 1, Norwich 0, Sunderland 3, Stoke 1, Millwall 1, Preston 1, and QPR 1, Huddersfield 1. So, gents, anywhere you want to go? To
QPR Huddersfield, because that is a massive result for us.
It's got you.
It could have. I would have said if Huddersfield won, I think it puts it even harder for anyone in the bottom 3 to catch up because we need Huddersfield to just be drawing games and not winning. Because at the minute it gives us a chance. Because if there's already a little bit of a gap in the table now starting, and as much as I'm impressed by Danny Rule got it to 3 points, this was key, and it keeps QPR as well because that keeps them just a little bit ahead. But everything happened right near the death. It was quite an interesting game because I thought QPR had the upper hand, and when Huddersfield got it, I thought it was going to be a snatch and grab. But QPR are doing something that we've not seen from much this season, and that being able to come back into games right near the end and stuff. And I think there's just been a mentality shift a little bit during the last game where they've been losing a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that a draw between these two were the result neither team wanted, really, because the 3 points for either team would have been massive.
Yeah.
It would have widened that gap. But Wednesday have still got a chance of catching them now.
Yeah, it was 6 points neither benefited from, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it makes Wednesday's game now against Watford even bigger after this result, doesn't it?
Well,
Jake?
Watford and Huddersfield all in the same week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Massive week. Yeah.
So, I do want to say ATID's come in. Obviously, John said everywhere in the UK is north to Plymouth.
Order!
ATID said very true. Next 4 away games, there's just shy of 3,000 miles travelled. And
They'll still travel though.
They always travel.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I think a congratulations is needed, or well done to Plymouth fans, because like you say, they do travel in the numbers, and literally the closest game's a million miles away, isn't it? So I think that they're used to traveling, but the fact that the traveling numbers, it should be, it should definitely be congratulated for sure. Their next 4 games,
something
Swansea,
like
Sunderland, Fulham and Blackburn.
Oh wow!
Jesus,
what is the
He's been
closest
brutal there.
What is the closest championship away game for Plymouth? The closest one. Would it be one of the
ATID or
London?
Liam in the chat,
Yeah.
your closest away game. Worko, we're friends, or we used to be.
what's he said now?
Some say Stockport County will,
not
from this day
nice.
forward, be called the Eco Ploughers. No idea why. I'm sure we'll get on to it.
Order!
I think that'll be getting used quite a bit this evening.
Yep.
Difficult day for us Donny fans. Any other games that you guys want to touch on from the 3 remaining in the Championship?
Sunderland getting back into some sort of form and forward scoring goals, which they didn't. I think up until a few weeks ago, none of their strikers had scored.
They still want him out though, don't they?
Yeah,
They're still not
they
happy
do.
with him.
Feel. But having said that, he's not been given a fair crack of the whip. Really, he's only been in charge for about 6 games, hasn't he?
Yeah, he needed that win though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, did definitely needed that.
A bit of pressure off him.
Pritchard is going to be a miss. If he's actually going in this window, Pritchard is a massive miss. And it looks like Birmingham in pole position to get him, hopefully, for them.
There's been a big fallout there, though, hasn't there? There's been a big fallout. Mm.
And Jack Clark looks like he's in talks with Lazio.
Lazio?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Do you know he's good damn well in Italy, Jack Clark? He's an Italian sort of player.
You know what? There's really weird transfers recently this window. Like players being linked to like that. Like I think Whittaker was linked to Atalanta in Serie A. It's like other clubs are starting to realise that the Championship is actually a very good pot of players to get out of.
Yeah.
There's some quality in there, isn't there?
Talent. Yeah, there's some quality there. Yeah.
John said back-to-back defeats for Stoke too. Last time we looked, they were nervously looking over the shoulder. I think they still are, but I think Huddersfield are the catchable ones there, aren't they?
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of football to be played.
I think it's any 3 from the bottom 4 as it stands now.
Yeah. And Liam has come in with an answer to his question for the closest away game for Plymouth, and it's Bristol. And then HID confirmed that with a 5-hour round trip.
Piece of cake, that.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. Yeah.
Just a little jaunt.
Get it on a Tuesday night.
Yeah. Obviously, Leeds 1, Norwich 0, and Millwall 1, Preston 1.
I think Millwall Preston were the most obviously. I could have picked that result, really. I mean, it was no surprise to anybody.
Yeah.
Looked
fairly entertaining on the stats, though. I mean, 28 shots at goal, but only a 1-1 draw. So
I will say this now: Ryan Lowe comments midweek about VAR coming into the Championship. Put it in the bin. I don't want VAR anywhere near the Championship.
Oh no! Every game had last 120 minutes. Every decision had been. Oh look, no, we don't want it. No, we'll rather have Keith Stroud.
I can just imagine your rants already, Ian.
Yeah.
We'd rather have Keith Stroud reffing all his games. Yeah.
Won't go that far.
Jesus.
It's a difficult one, VAR, though, isn't it? Because I think as a tool, I think it could be really beneficial to the sport. I mean, you look at other sports that use.
This is the thing. VAR is
and they use it properly. I think it's more about.
It's not used well in the UK.
Yeah.
It's not used well in the UK. You look at other clubs across the continent; they use it better. It's not that bad. But in Italy, they did find out if you use a flag, a big enough flag, and you cover up the VAR camera, they can't use it. Happened in the Lazio versus Napoli game, and it was hilarious.
I think in this country, I think they use it to try to disallow goals rather than try and get goals given, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's detrimental to attacking football.
Yeah, for me, I think they've just gone away from kind of the clear and obvious. I think, like you said, Ian, it's like they're trying to get talking points from it and be a bit controversial with the decisions that they're making. But the whole point of VAR is to take that controversy away from the game. And
I mean, there were one in the Spurs Man City FA Cup tie really early on when that I think it was Bob put the ball in as a rebound and the line were drawn and it must have been a toenail. You know what I mean? It was that close. That should have been given, sure.
You know what my worry is with VAR in the Premier League, at least, is I can see it in about 2 years' time. I'm lobbing adverts in the middle of a VAR check on telly.
A bit American-ish.
Yeah.
It seems like that's the direction that they're wanting to go, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Neil's asked how the cat is this weekend, Lee.
It's all right. He's inside. It's a bit cold for him tonight.
Right, let's have a look at the Championship table before we move on to League One.
Lee's going to Italy soon, so he'll get one of his own and probably ink comb home happier.
Ian, obviously still bottom, didn't play this weekend, you've not been able to pull any points back. Resigned to relegation, or do you still think there's a glimmer?
We've done we've done nothing in the transfer window so far. And of course, obviously, a lot of Millers fans are getting worried because we've not done any business. But I'm of the opinion that why throw money at a lost cause? I think we should stick with the squad we've got at the moment. Keep any money that we have in reserve for the summer, so we can have a good go at League One next season. But yeah, I'm resigned to it. Yeah,
I think that's a sensible way of looking at it. To be fair, mate, I do think it's probably a lost cause now. Looking at the gap, what is it? 9 points. Yeah. 9 points.
I mean, we've only won 3 games all season, and if we win another 3 before May, all well and good. But no, it's gone. It's gone.
Yeah. Fair way of looking at it. Sheff Wednesday, second bottom on 22 points, and like you said, Jake, QPR Huddersfield drawing 1-1 was probably the best result for you guys. Huddersfield haven't really pulled away. QPR have not pulled away as well. So I do think there is a chance for you.
My only saving grace is that Danny Röhl had come in already and made it at one point a 3-point gap. Then it kind of went a little bit downhill. You need players in them. The window, he needs at least a midfielder, a left back, and possibly an attacking winger and another striker. But it's one of those windows. You don't get a lot of players in this window. And the problem, he came in October and he needs a full squad rebuild and what he can get. And I think that's the issue we've got. And we don't know what Chance Series set the budget is. Because remember, it was only a couple of months ago I'm not going to put any more money in. Yeah. So as a fan base, if we stay up, it'll be a bloody miracle. But if we stay up, you then got to back him again in the summer and rebuild. We got 15 players out of contract in the summer. And every season, we seem to have a lot of players. We don't seem to give contracts where it's decent. And I'm getting to the point, we signed a couple of players who have got add-on sell-on fees. It'll just let the contract run down so he don't have to fork out the money. And I don't like that.
No. Yeah. Can I ask you a question, Jake?
Yeah.
What's happening with Michael Smith? Is he going and where to?
Derby want him.
Derby need him.
Derby need him and want him. They have agreed to pay all of his wages, but we put a loan fee on top of that, and because they're in an EFL business plan, they can't do too much. Yeah. They've got a transfer pot and they've got a loan pot. They've already done the transfer pot with Blackett. Yeah. So if they're gonna do it, they would have to let someone like Matt Bird leave and then have Smith in. And the thing is, if you want him, we probably want him off the books as a sale than a loan, because I think it's just easier.
Yeah.
And also, he can command a fee because his record in League One is excellent. So you can't let him do the note.
Exactly.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Ethan's in the chat. Hi, boys. The magic of the English football is proper English clubs, stadiums, and local supporters. Yeah, that's why we love watching low league football. Yeah. Top of the Championship, Leicester still leading the way. I think they're champions.
They will, aren't they?
Yeah. There's always one team across the 3 divisions every season that you kind of already know are going up. Burnley were that team last season. I think Leicester is that team this season. But then it's a fight between...
look tasty though, don't it?
Yeah.
That could go to the end.
Ipswich in second on 59 points. Southampton in incredible form. Leeds not doing too bad. 4 wins on the bounce. West Brom, we will get onto them in the FA Cup this weekend, and Coventry make up the top 6. But then Sunderland's just outside of it with Hull as well, and Norwich not doing too bad.
Do you think Ipswich Town are going to fall off because their results haven't been looking good and they've got injury galore?
I would actually bet on Southampton catching them and overtaking them. Yeah, definitely. But I still think Ipswich, after promotion, if they get a playoff spot, it'll be a fantastic season for them.
Yeah, it will. After promotion from League One, I think.
Yeah.
Any team getting promoted from League One, I think the initial target is survival, and then kind of see where you go from there. Obviously, Ipswich had a really good setup and a really good squad to go with, so probably expectations were a little bit higher than survival. But I don't think any sort of level-headed Ipswich fan had predicted this at this point of the season.
John, I've seen that they are still in some sort of business plan, unless it's not an EFL one. Maybe it's a self-imposed one that they've done, kind of thing. But I have seen that they're still in like a limited budget where they don't want to do too much.
There we go. Liam needs wishing luck. He's got Swansea, Sunderland, Borough, and potentially Villa or Chelsea if all goes well in the FA Cup in February. So that's some travelling for him as well from Plymouth. Moving on to League One. I think it was a full fixture list in League One. I don't think anybody missed out.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, full fixture list. Obviously, we point everybody over to Napper's channel, Cod's Vlogs, and he does a League One deep dive. So if you're really interested in League One and you want a bit more detail on that, we do recommend you go over to him. Really good content creator that focuses on League One. But we will have a good go. Is there any games that jump out to you guys on this one? We will fly through League One.
The new manager bounce at Shrewsbury with Paul Hurst coming back into Shrewsbury. What a result that were away at Northampton, who had been flying. Jay Dunkley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he left.
It looks like they deserved it as well. 18 shots, 8 on target. It was like Northampton have been doing bits in League One. Just lately, they've been bang on form.
Yeah, they were fairly solid, weren't they? Yeah, just outside of the playoffs. So, yeah, fantastic result away from home for Shrewsbury, and it's kind of give them a bit of breathing space away from Reading in the final drop zone.
I'm a big believer in that certain, like players are, but certain managers fit at certain clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul Hurst had a nightmare of a time at Ipswich, and he didn't do too well at Grimsby second time round. But Shrewsbury seems to fit him. I mean, he got him into the playoff final a few years ago, had him top of the table in League One, and he's come back and obviously still knows a lot of the staff there. And I think they'll do well under him at Shrewsbury.
Yeah, he will. I've just noticed 28 people are watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking a bit of your Sunday evening out to listen to us ramble about EFL. The show's slowly growing, so it's great for you guys to be here. So if you know anybody who's interested in this, get it shared, get it liked, and get it out there, because then more people will get involved in the chat and stuff, and it'll grow, which is good. So yeah, thank you for coming along on your Sunday evening. We do appreciate it for each and every single one of you. Lee, any League One games that took your fancy this weekend?
Yeah, just that Portsmouth result. Obviously,
big talking point in this one, wasn't there?
Yeah, I've seen it not long before we come on. I think it's a foul. I think he fouls the Port Vale player, but obviously it's an identical sort of challenge, and he's given a penalty. Obviously, Port Vale fans have gone absolutely mental over this. One fan
certainly did.
Idiot. One fan coming on the pitch, which is an absolute mindless idiot. That referee must have absolutely shit himself.
He did. You saw him. You know what got me is that no one stopped him.
Yeah, I think it's difficult though, isn't it? Because I'm from Doncaster, and it's not the greatest place to live. I think it's the same everywhere across the country. I think there's good parts of towns and cities, and there's bad parts of towns and cities. But I think across the UK at the minute, the amount of kind of knife crime I've heard on the news and stuff, I think when you see somebody running up towards you, it's that fight or flight, isn't it? Yeah. And I think with how much crap we see on social media and through mainstream
and I wasn't
media
saying the players should have stopped it. I mean, there was no steward or anyone,
or anything,
nothing.
Was there? But I think probably if I was
could easily have got to him. He could easily have got to him. Yeah.
I've had this. I've been to many a game where stewards, look, the paid minimum. You can tell they're from these agencies. I think it's a matter of time before something serious. Obviously, we've seen that Wolves game today. I think it is a matter of time before a player or official is seriously armed, because I think the stewards are poor. They're just there to pick up a wage. And fair play. If I were a steward and some stuff, I mean, I touched on the Rochdale Oldham. It was absolute carnage. They were fighting on the pitch. I won't get involved in that if I were paid what they're paid. I think I think until we address that and sort the payout and just get stewards properly trained and stop scrimping on it. I know it's hard for clubs because obviously it's a big cost.
We as a club have only started opening that bottom end only recently because we shut it after the whole thing that happened with Chris Kirtland when he got puffed by the Leaf fan. And the thing is, you don't know that as much of people goes, oh, nothing comes into ground. They're not searched. They're just patted down, and if something's there, something's there. It's just, I think the situation, it's unless they're going to allow clubs to have a pot of money, which is a lot more towards stewarding, and it's not hit by FFP or anything like that, and it's just hit there, and the EFL help out with training, I think it gets better. But the problem is they won't do. And I think it gets very difficult for a club of any size to have the stewarding cost.
I think German Gilles has kind of mentioned it. The thing is, you pay for high security, it'll raise the ticket prices. It'll end up getting passed down to fans.
Oh, we can't do that as high as it already is.
I'd like to get his input because obviously he lives in Germany and their prices are really low. So I don't know how they do it. If he knows, drop in the comments because obviously German, they seem to go and watch the football. They can have a pint. I just think our mentality in English football, social media is so driven. It's like they do stuff for viral clips or dares or just to get that publicity instead of going and watching the football and enjoying it. Whereas look at other like the German, it's just a decent brand of football. You can go and watch it and enjoy it with your friends, and you don't get absolute.
It's a decent price of football. And even if your team loses, you've been able to get good value for it. And I don't think there's hardly any good value in English football these days in terms of ticket prices. I think it gets ridiculous.
And if we're not careful, we're obviously the West Brom Wolves. We're going to end up going back to a dark
1970s.
Where we don't want to go because it's. I mean. You just had to look at a little kid that had to get lifted onto the pitch. It's them that's going to suffer, and they'll probably not want to go to a game after today. After that,
it's not a good experience to be in and around.
I mean, my experience at New York Stadium, I think we're the most over-stewarded venue in the entire football league.
Yeah, you definitely know.
Thousands of them. And also, about 40% of them seem to be like sixth formers. You know, like 16, 17-year-old, about 7 stone sopping wet. What are they going to do if somebody riots?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, German Gilles has said that there's not much security actually in Germany. Fans are trusted and they know that if there are problems, they lose all of the privileges. It's that straightforward. Unfortunately, we've got a minority of absolute imbeciles who have not got a brain cell between them. And
there's been loads of it this weekend. I think Hartlepool York, I've seen clips there scrapping like mad.
It's like the hooligan culture's come back.
Creeping back in it.
And it come back. Ever since lockdown, I think they missed it that much. Some of them just want to. The amount of times you see on Twitter now, like if you do a certain hashtag on certain club, you just see people going, anybody want to scrap? It's like, no, I want to go watch football.
I best be careful with my hashtags then. I don't want to be scrapping to do vlogs.
It's all right, Lee. We'll get you some security hired.
Ian, you in?
All right, I'll sort it. Don't worry. He'll need to. I mean, he'll need security soon, especially when he's on TV and a superstar.
You soft bastard.
Denise is in the chat. Is this your mum, Lee?
Yeah, I'd speak to that.
So she thinks that the country as a whole is on a downer with everything and feels frustration spilling out, just not in football. But there is no excuse. She does know that.
It does manifest itself more to football than any other
I think probably
leisure activity, really.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is?
It's a release for people, isn't it?
Not exactly, Dan. I was just about to say the same thing. People have frustrations, obviously, tough times in their life, and football, they can sort of have.
You know, if it happens in rugby, the person gets plattered by the rugby fans.
Yeah.
Or even I've seen a couple of times where the rugby players have even gone in and gone out. We're not having it. And
Yeah.
it's that whole thing. Rugby is very well looked after. There've been a couple of times, I think a couple of seasons where it's gone a bit awry, but it's very rare. Very, very rare. And again, it's the same thing like German Jill said. They're policed by the fans. So the fans know to do this. I think the problem you've got in football is it's the small minority that wreck it for everyone else.
Yeah.
And the problem is the small minority will be the ones that shout the loudest and give the most aggro. And the ones who just want to sit there will sit there and just watch the football and then have to watch it all go out.
Any more of them, Dan, you'll be scrapping in a minute, mate.
I'm still recovering from yesterday. I've not stopped drinking wine since 5 o'clock yesterday.
I can see the current climate with the hooliganism coming back. I can see that putting the death knell on safe standing.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, isn't it? We've got a minority of idiots that are going to ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frustrating. Anyway, back to football. Ian, any League One games that you want to touch upon before we move on?
One massive surprise is Exeter winning at Barnsley.
Yeah. Ending their unbeaten.
Big surprise. ATID, Liam, turn away now.
Yeah.
Tune back in shortly, but we are going to be talking Exeter, who've got a really good result away from home.
I don't think that's the second season running they've won at all. Well,
I think it is.
And probably, looking at the stats, probably didn't deserve it. Obviously, Barnsley have had more shots, similar shots on target. Well, the same shots on target, but Exeter with less possession. They've just been a bit more ruthless with what they had, and it's kind of not really dented Barnsley's
not
promotion
too much.
picture too much. But
Yeah, because Oxford lost as well. Oxford lost as well. So really, with Barnsley losing, it's not widened, shortened the gap so much.
ATID. Love it. But no, a big win for Exeter, which is just, I mean, unbeaten in 3. It's just pulled them away from the drop zone. Reading on 27, Exeter on 33.
Yeah.
Good result for them. Jake, any League One game that you want to touch on, mate?
I thought Reading and Leyton Orient. I think Reading are trying to put a fifth to this with everything that's going on. I think they're just slowly trying to chip away at it. It sounds like they may have new ownership coming, but every time you hear that it's close, something goes wrong.
Yeah,
and I'm starting to see a situation with Thai owners where when they think something's about to go good, they move the goalposts again. Yeah. And I've been told it's very much in Thai culture that once the deal's done, they think they try and squeeze a little bit more. But Reading are trying to keep out of going down. Out of all of them, they're the ones who could actually, I think, could potentially get out of it.
Yeah.
Now, my concern is, when do the EFL suddenly go, hey, you know that point deduction we owe you? We're going to give it you now. Because they've done it so many times when teams are out. So many times. They did it to Wigan.
Yeah,
and I thought it was a joke. And I think getting a point against Leyton Orient is a damn good point. Because they play some good football.
And that Nibs, how long is he going to be there? Is there going to be a fire sale at Reading?
That's the thing. There's a lot of people saying there might be, because there's the Charlie Savage, the Nibs. They've already let some players go. It's ridiculous that you're having to get a training schedule around, apparently, due to when the best time to use the power is, or the cheapest time. It's mental.
Yeah. And the players having to have microwave meals and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, what did we think of Jordan Rhodes' miss?
Oh, God, yeah.
He buried them. Yeah.
Where's he at now? Blackpool, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all changed at Charlton as well. He did go.
Yeah.
He got sacked. Gosh, Charlton are a mess, aren't they?
They
Charlton are just a mess of a club.
The squad is superb on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any,
you don't
anyone
win
been
games.
linked with the job yet?
Not that I've
No.
seen, mate. No.
It's a bit of a poison chalice, that one, isn't it, Charlton job?
Mm,
Because they've got massive expectations there, and
Yeah.
I still think they're too good to go down. But we've said that before about clubs
Yeah.
that actually do go down.
thing
But
is,
it'd be catastrophic if Charlton went into League Two.
the thing is, if Charlton went to League Two, it's another one of those clubs. Do you see them getting back?
Yeah, a bit like Reading.
Yeah, it's like, do
Yeah.
you see them getting back if they do go down? Because
I think Charlton would probably have a better chance than
yeah,
than Reading as it currently
Yeah, but
stands.
look
Obviously, with
Look at a
ownership.
club of Bradford size, and they've been in League Two for donkey's years. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Neil currently having a meltdown.
yeah. We're hoping not to hear Bradford mentioned tonight.
Yeah.
We will get on to Bradford and Doncaster shortly. But yeah, let's have a quick look at the table. Obviously, once again, head over to Cod's Vlogs if you want a deeper dive into League One.
cheer him up as well, because he's not liking doing content at the minute. Bless him.
Yeah, I think
You know, I felt so sorry for him yesterday. 2-0 up.
Yeah.
2-0 up, obviously, red card just before half time, and then Wickham brought it back, and they're still without a win in, I can't even remember. It's a long, long time. And that run has put them rock bottom on 19 points. Carlisle look like they're returning back to League Two, currently on 20 points. Cheltenham got a chance of getting out of there.
Vale have
obviously,
got to be
a couple of games
careful.
in hand. Yeah. And then Reading, like Jake says, probably giving it the best fight out of the bottom four at the minute.
You go
Look at
for
where
Charlton,
Wickham are.
Charlton down. Yeah, Wickham. Wickham have dropped. You look where Charlton, Wickham, Vale are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be nervous.
Yeah.
Burton's asked, will Cosvlogs be doing a League Two deep dive next season? I don't know.
I would have thought
I don't know if he'll change up what he's doing, or I've not really asked him. But I'm sure, obviously, he does it with.
It'll be
guys
interesting
who are-
it'll be interesting what they do next year, actually, because if
look
4-0
like-
written
they look like
all over it goes up,
Yeah.
it kind
this is it.
of
They might do a 72 review.
yeah.
It looks like they're already doing a deep dive into League Two.
Yeah.
Sorry, nappers.
Yeah, I couldn't resist that.
But no, top of the table, Portsmouth still remain there. But holding on for dear life at the minute. Bolton are tight on the tails, with Peterborough just behind them as well. Derby, Barnsley, and Stevenage make up the remaining of the playoffs in League One.
Should we see where Ian's off?
Oh yeah, let's check the poll.
Oh,
22 votes.
Go on.
give me a second. I've got 22 votes, and it's looking 57% is going Crewe versus Crawley at the minute.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's
30
fine.
Sorry, 55%, 36 to Blackpool, 9% to Wigan. So we'll let that run until the end of the show.
Yeah, and I'll on the final results. That's where I'll go.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah.
On to the FA Cup. Jake, Lee, Chef Wednesday 1, Coventry 1. Got to play Coventry 4 times this season.
It's all right. We played Fleetwood 4 times last year, so nothing new.
Coventry are the new Fleetwood. So talk us through this one between the two of you. Tell us.
Do you want to start, Lee?
No, I'll let you start, Jake. You mark off.
I don't think we started that badly, to be fair. I think we were looking okay. We just don't have a finisher. We just don't have anyone who can score at the minute. And the problem is, when you get into games like this and you can't get that goal, you got to hit while the iron's hot, like they say, strike. And we don't do it. And I think you're seeing a team that's trying its best and running through as many brick walls as it can. And I'll start from the beginning again. Yeah, whatever your situation with booing the knee, okay, it happened down the country, and Lee was there when the whole situation with Kelsey Palmer started again. It was because there was a coming together with Barry Bannon. It was nothing else apart from that, and he was doing what he did last game, winding players and fans up. But because of what happened last week, it doesn't help. It makes it look even worse. And the thing is, I'm getting a bit fed up as seeing social media where every Wednesday fan is being hit with the label you're racist. We're not. It's a minority. Please let it be. Remember, it's a minority. And I think in this game, Wenty just wanted to try and put it behind us, and it didn't help. But their first goal was an absolute stunner. There's nothing Pierce Charles could do about that. He just hit that, and it flew. It flew. It was a cracking goal. And what a way to get your first goal to turn around and say, "Hi, welcome. I'm a Coventry player." Because is it me or do Coventry seem to find these players every season? They find these little gems, don't they?
They do indeed. I've got to bring this up from Worko because it's just made me chuckle. Sky Sports seem to think that Hillsborough Stadium's crowd all wear pointy white hoods over their faces now. It's absolutely abysmal. I don't know if you saw the picture from Fulham.
Yes,
the flag display that made me chuckle as well.
That was a bit fun.
I think the thing is it's a small group of mindless idiots, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously the situation would have been under a microscope on Friday. And as soon as any booing started, it was open season then, wasn't it? And I can only guess how you're feeling that a full fan base is getting tired with the same brush, which it shouldn't be because it is a minority. And unfortunately, they're among us. They're everywhere.
If you want to see what Wenty fans are, look at the little lad who gave Kelsey Palmer the gift and apologised for the entire and it just. A little lad did that. He probably got that out of his pocket money, and it just shows you that's not what it is. And that didn't get the.
No, it didn't get the publicity. No,
and it should have done. And I think in this game, it could even work. We could have played him again. And neither team wanted a replay. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Both teams wanted this game done and dusted. I thought Deji Gassama was fantastic. He ran at home. You need to look up a little bit more. I don't know about you, Lee. He got everything apart from that last little bit, hadn't he?
Yeah, you can tell he's one of them players. It's a silly comparison, but when Cristiano Ronaldo signed for Man United, he was that sort of player until Ferguson bred it into him to pass it more, and that helped his game. Gassama, you can tell he's that sort of player. He gets his head down. He just wants to run at a play and score this world-class goal. I think once he learns, obviously he's young, he'll develop, and that'll come into his game, hopefully. And, yeah, he does look a good player. I think out of the two, Masaba, I were more hopeful with Masaba, but the recent weeks, I think Gassama's stepped up.
Masaba's dropped a little bit, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's scoring goals, and obviously a cracking goal Friday night. I nearly said Saturday, then I've lost track of days.
And the save by Pierce Charles right at the very end, 18-year-old on his debut, really good save. And I think there's signs in the Wenty camp where if we have some of these players like we got, there's a way of building it. I thought Ugbo was fantastic as well. He would just miss the goal. I thought the link-up play with him and Cads worked really well. And I think we're just missing that final bit. But it's a draw. Nobody wanted a draw. It's the last thing we need. I think it's the last thing Coventry need.
A relegation fight, do you?
Well, I don't think Coventry need it. We've been in a playoff situation either.
Yeah.
I think they could do without it. But what a game if it does because Maidenstone, wow. Just wow. Because I think that's a good segue.
Yeah. I think that's probably the best place to go.
It's a carrot though. It's a carrot though, isn't it? Now for the replay, obviously, it's not a given that anyone had beat Maidstone after that result. But what a draw!
Just seen John comment.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of those draws that every club who's left in the FA Cup wants, because on paper it's the winnable one, isn't it? But obviously they've got to the fifth round of the FA Cup for a reason, and
clinical
shouldn't be underestimated.
Hey, to be honest with you, when I saw the stats from this game, I thought it was a Rotherham away game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ipswich absolutely battered them, didn't they?
Yeah.
I did see Alex Griffin, the Ipswich Town fan channel, going, "How we lost to a team full of plumbers." And I thought it was a bit disrespectful.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But ultimately,
But
they've
both goals taken really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were.
Really well.
but they've done what they needed to do, and this is the magic of the FA Cup, isn't it? There's always one story, and Maidstone's it.
Did you see the fan
this
go
year.
flying down the bloody thing when they celebrated? That got hurt when he come to after that.
It's that
I don't
clip
think
where it's very close to him, and you see him more or less roll off, and their faces are a picture.
Absolute nutcases. But I do feel a little bit for Maidstone, because you think getting through to the fifth round, I bet they were dreaming of like the absolute wonder tie at a big Premier League stadium. No disrespect to Sheffield Wednesday or Coventry, but probably
no.
a little underwhelming for them getting that far in the competition.
Yeah.
Is it at yours, or is it?
It's at ours or Coventry's, whoever go through.
So it'd still be a decent payday for a team in the
the
National League South, aren't they?
Yeah.
And
I
the
think,
midweek
a run
games.
like this,
Yeah.
a run like this will keep them going for 2 or 3 seasons.
Oh god, yeah.
Would have thought.
Yeah,
So,
It's a midweek game, which at the moment the midweek games are saying it's 3:00, but that doesn't work because it's like the 28th of Feb, and that's a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's
I
a
think
typo.
from the
So it's
5th round
7:45.
onwards, the FA Cup becomes midweek, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from the semi-finals and final.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it'll be a 7:45 kickoff, won't it?
And do you have the draw to hand, Dan?
I'll get it on here.
Oh, I've got it's
There we go.
It's just saying to be decided on on obviously these replays. Luton have got Man City, Bournemouth have got Leicester, Wolves have got Brighton.
Wolves Brighton will be a good game.
Yeah, you or Coventry have got Maidstone, but then the others I'm not too sure
Yeah.
of.
Have a look.
Any other FA Cup games that you guys want to touch on? Obviously, the trouble at West Brom, Wolves. I think that was just
5th round fixtures for Blackburn Rovers versus Wrexham or Newcastle, Chelsea or Villa versus Leeds United or Plymouth, Bournemouth, Leicester City, Liverpool versus Watford or Southampton, Bristol City versus Nottingham Forest or Bristol City versus or Nottingham Forest versus Man United, Wolves versus Brighton, Wednesday or Coventry versus Maidstone, Luton Town versus Man City.
I don't think Man City would like good old Luton, to be honest with you.
no. It could be a bit of a banana skin, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Well, but yeah, on to West Brom versus Wolves. Obviously, Premier League class came through in the end, but I think the main
I
story
thought
will
West
be
Brom gave it a good go, to be honest.
yeah, they did.
They did.
But
They didn't go
unfortunately, I think the main story that will come out of this is the ugly head of hooliganism, which we've talked about already in the show. I don't think there's a place for it in football. I think you see videos of people kind of fighting out around town and stuff, and you read stories about where somebody got punched to fall and they've hit the head on the curb and sadly passed away, and then you're done for manslaughter. You're going to watch a football game. I don't get the mentality for these people to go and think that's the thing to do. It just
especially when it was in the hospitality section where the players' family. You see Bartlett taking his kids off the pitch, from the pitch, on the stands, going off, and then having to go sub me gaffer because I need to go look after my kids.
Yeah,
they may not want to go to a game again now and watch the dad play because it'll get them.
So that's how they've got the tickets and hospitality, but
It looks like it.
Not just normal tickets.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's just, yeah, you haven't played in a long time. I get it. I understand it. But why? You've made the entire what was a really good game about something else.
Game,
yeah.
Now, and no one can remember how West Brom nearly got 2 to 3 goals right near the end because they were pushing.
Yeah, it's frustrating to see, and like I say, I just don't understand it. Obviously, everybody on this show doesn't condone any sort of violence at football. We just want to go and watch a game and come home.
Yeah,
lovely stuff. Newport Man United.
So close.
Watching this earlier today, 10 minutes in, I thought it was going to be an absolute whitewash cricket score. Man United were looking decent, but then Newport gave it a really good go, didn't they?
Oh, they did. I mean, to be honest, to fight back from 2 goals down against a team of Man United's quality, obviously Newport were a League Two side. And at times they did show it, but they did come back well. They did. Goplan got them fired up, and that wonder goal just before half time got them really fired up.
Yeah.
I think in the end, they probably just ran out of legs, and United's quality shone through. But fair play to Newport, they give it a damn good go, and the credit to the EFL.
And also they've
can
got
certainly be proud
new
of
ownership. New ownership, which is going to be very helpful for it. The former Swansea City owner. And I think with some backing now, I think it could really help them.
Yeah.
Well, that pitch looked far too smooth, though.
Mate, Wednesday looked naff, doesn't it?
And they've definitely been churning that up for them United. Boys. That pitch, I'll be having a word with.
Are you starting to have a new business venture? Are you going to start renting out plough to EFL clubs in FA Cup rounds then?
You want to pitch by the baseball ground, come to Lee.
Cracking stuff. Right, let's move on to League Two because we're hurtling towards the hour mark and we've still got predictions to do and check on the poll as well.
Just highlight what John just put his last comment.
Here we go. So, got a feel for West Bromwich Albion Stewards. They've got 2.8 thousand Blues fans coming next weekend for 3 p.m. Saturday kickoff. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, don't get any easier, does it?
No, it certainly doesn't. Ian, you went to League Two. You went to Notts County versus Barrow. So we'll start there and we'll try and avoid Donny Stockport for as long as possible.
Okay. To be honest, if I were a Barrow supporter, I'd be miffed they didn't win. Because they were, in the first half especially, they were by far the better side. They started really well. Cole Stockton tried one of his halfway line chips that just went over the bar. That was in about the 2nd or 3rd minute. The county keeper pulled a good save off from Dom Telford on 5 minutes, and they just poured forward and eventually did take the lead from a diving header from Spence. And at that time, there were only one team in it. I think they went off the boil a little bit towards the latter end of the first half, and County came back into it, and they equalised rather undeservedly on the stroke at half time. But that Jody Jones, who's got I think he's got the League Two assists record with this one.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's a great player. Yeah. Put a good cross in, and Nemain finished it at the far post, 1-1 at half time. Second half were a little bit more even, although Barrow still did have a couple of good chances. One in particular when the centre forward was going through, and he just got a county defender just got a block on. And the last quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, I think both teams settled for a point. I don't think either team deserved to win as such. And I think it's a decent point for both of them that keeps the runs going. But I was more impressed with Barrow. I thought they were the better side, but a draw were probably right. And the crowd, 11,500 for 4th tier football, only in England. You could only get that in England.
Yeah.
I mean, 11,500 is an incredible. Take Bradford out of the equation, obviously, because they get 18,000 every week. But for Notts, having to come up from the National League, they're averaging above 10,000. That's superb.
So you want to know how many assists Jody Jones have got this season? And it's ridiculous. 17. Yeah. And the person in second place has got 8.
Oh, wow.
Probably winning that one.
Yeah.
I think he got 4 at that Grimsby game.
Yeah, because you went to it, didn't you, Lee?
Yeah, I'm sure he got about 4. He got at least 3.
Yeah.
But when you actually look at that,
player, isn't it?
You look at that, 17 assists, and he's only 26. And then you look at top scorer, Langstaff,
Actually, I was disappointed with Langstaff yesterday because he hardly had a kick. But
Yeah.
you get games like that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Mm.
Barrow
Yeah.
a decent team though.
Yeah, very decent. Very decent.
John said that Wrexham were the big winner yesterday and didn't even play because Crewe lost, Mansfield lost, Barrow, and Notts County drew. Games in hand on all, and they play all of them as well. So yeah, Wrexham
huge, actually.
probably sitting in a really good position.
Yeah.
Lucas said another good result for Sutton, which is worrying him before next week. So obviously we've got Sutton, but we will go to Gillingham against MK Dons. I am literally deflecting from
you're literally just not wanting to have the misery. aren't you?
wherever we can go next, other than Doncaster, I'll go.
Right, breaking news: we're going to non-league because Dan doesn't want to do it.
Breaking news: we are finishing the stream. But no, German Gills has said that Gills played well. Just a lack of clinical finishing up top again. MK Dons looked fine, but draw for me would have been the right result. Still, our goal scoring record is woeful. Yeah, this all happened in the last 10 minutes, didn't it?
Yeah.
0-0 up until 79th, and then Williams got one for MK Dons. Gilby made it 2-0 and pretty much game over. But then Josh Walker
Made it a bit nervy right near the
yeah,
end.
brought one back on the 90th minute and squeaky bum time then. But yeah, like German Jill says, Gillingham played well and probably the draw would have been the fairest result.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you've seen him not getting it right at Bradford, but he's gone to MK Dons, it seemed to have clicked.
Yeah. Horses for courses, like I said
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
And like I says, Gillingham's scoring record, only 25 goals scored this season. I think that is the
28
lowest in the
games,
division. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So something that definitely needs fixing if they're going to break into the top six, either by the end of the season.
You got till the 1st of Feb.
I'm going to say there's 3 days. Can they bring somebody in? We will see. If not, they need to certainly bring somebody in who can find the back of the net in the summer to break into that top 6 or 7, isn't it?
Yeah.
Suppose we're going to have to go to Donny, aren't we?
Sorry,
Yeah,
mate.
go on, Dan. Fill your boots, lad.
Right.
He
The
did,
highlight
yes.
of the highlight of my day was eating the hospitality food with Lee. You put the Chippy Tea Butty video up already, so head over to his channel and subscribe and watch that. Very, very tasty. But the hospitality one will
Lots
be
of
coming up
bushy
shortly.
bees.
Yeah, honestly, it was great. But yeah, the day just went downhill from 2 o'clock. Really, it was dreadful. There's no other. I can't get into words how frustrated I was yesterday watching. We didn't even play. We didn't turn up, and I've got a message from Bailey Vicarage. He put a few comments in the chat. So Bailey's there, but his messaged me, DM me on Twitter because it's quite a long message, and he pretty much says everything that I want to as well. He didn't expect anything from the game, but it was embarrassing. They didn't have to get out of second gear. Completely agree. And we gifted them all 5 goals, 5 headers, crosses. It was simple stuff. The inability to do the basics like attacking corners and showing your man down the line, it's unforgivable at this point. And Grant has to take some of the blame for the team selection, but you can't go out there and do the basics for the players. These problems were happening under Moore, and they're still happening. So we've churned out managers left, right, and centre, and we've had the same consistent issues time after time. Grant and Cliff are working on them as we dealt with crosses well recently, but we're just not doing it consistently enough. These players need to either learn to stay switched on all game or be gone in the summer, which Grant will get rid of a lot. I'd go with Wood at the back alongside McGrath from now on, as we need a leader back there. Next week is a must win. We need to keep the gap between us and the drop, but if we don't win, we're in big trouble. He felt sorry for Billy Sharp, Jamie McCoombe and Mark Duffy for coming back and having to watch that shower after all the success them three had at the club not long ago. And
Billy Sharp looked crestfallen.
Yeah,
with that pitch, he looked absolutely gutted.
We were dreadful. Obviously, I'm hurting as a fan. This is the second time we've conceded 5 at home this season. We've had seasons before. Ian, you'll remember it. We conceded 6 against
6 and 5 in the same season.
Yeah. You remember that one then, yeah?
Oh, I remember it well.
But it's
You've
just
got
been
to remember the good times, especially if we are in seasons like we're having.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But I just can't. I can't describe how frustrated and how disappointed in the club I am at the minute. I trust in Grant. I really do. I think there's not really anybody better out there. I think the problem's higher. Obviously, years of lack of investment, and it's starting to hit us now. And I am really worried about dropping into non-league now. If we fail to beat Sutton next Saturday, I really don't care about Bradford on Tuesday. Lose that one for me. I'm not fussed by it. But Saturday's the big one. I think if we lose that, obviously Sutton have got a game Tuesday as well. So I think there's 7 points or 8 points between us at the minute. 7 points. So that'd take it down to 4 if they win their game on Tuesday. Obviously we'd have a game in hand, but then we play them on Saturday. And if we lose that, I think mentally more than anything, you saw yesterday. I mean, I'll pass over to Lee as a neutral. You can say your bit, but I just felt like as soon as that first goal went in, Tommy Rowe as the captain, he would just Edward down. There was nothing there from any player, even the players with experience. They just, once one head goes down, every single one of them went down, and it's not good enough. And I think if we do get beat on Saturday, I think we're down. I really do. I don't think we'll recover from it, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do. We've got really important 4 games. We've got Sutton, Grimsby, Tranmere and Salford, all within a couple of places of us.
You need at least 6 points from them 4 games, really.
Honestly, and I think we need 9 or 10 to really give us that breathing space. And I think anything less than 9 or 10, I think there'll still be worried murmurs and frustrations.
I worry that you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
I said to you offline, and I'm a Donny lad, I know how much Doncaster Rovers mean to the city. And I can say City now because they finally are one. But I know what it means to the city. I understand it. I have mates who are Donny fans. That club goes into non-league, you ain't going to be able to fill the eco power. You're going to have to look for somewhere else to play.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, very frustrating. I mean, Lee, you were there as a neutral. The food was fantastic. The football was shite, wasn't it?
Yeah, firstly, I want to just say on you, Dan, I think the vlogs that you're producing after obviously a frustrating couple of years, it's a credit to you. You're a credit to Doncaster Rovers, and a lot of people could have probably just jacked in and not done it, but you've stuck with him and you're still producing top rate content. That wasn't a stutter, by the way. It were a free tops because you deserve it, mate, and you're a credit to Donny Rovers and us guys on here.
Agree.
On the game, I've watched a lot of football this season. I think that was one of the poorest, effortless performances I've ever seen from a team. Stockport, top of the league, they're a good side. You've got to put more effort in. You've got to. You didn't get about them. You didn't put a foot in. You didn't make it ugly. It just more or less handed it to them on a plate, and it was just. I really worry for you after that. I'll be honest, Dan. I really do. I just think you lack so many leaders, so many people that want to grab it. No one on that pitch wanted to grab it by the scruff of the neck and go, "Come on, boys, we need to up this." And you can just tell the frustration behind the Donny fans that are sticking with the team. I know there weren't that many there, but credit to the Donny fans, because a lot like you, Dan, you could have walked away from it. And yeah, I really worry.
I've never left a game early other than once, and that was for work. But yesterday,
just tell everyone what came through your mat in the post after that 5-1.
Are you ready for this? Still got it here. So we get beat 5-1, and I come home to this wonderful season ticket renewal. Couldn't write it. What I will say though is they are very well priced season tickets, but I suppose they may be overpriced in non-league, but we will see.
But yeah, I watched just Nick Power on my side in the first half, and I watched him quite closely because I do tend to try and pick a player out that I just like to home in and like the old fan cam back in the day, and his demeanour was just like he didn't have to really put an effort in and work for getting the ball or anything. It would just look like you were in a pre-match, a friendly.
Yeah, Stockport strolled to the easiest 3 points out of this season.
I mean, credit to Stockport when the chances presented themselves, they punished you, but they didn't really need to really work for that because I think Donny just rolled over without any fight at all.
All the goals look so easy, so easy.
Yeah, it sounds like a Stockport manager might turn around to the lads and say, "What recovery do you need to do?" Because
none.
You didn't put a shift in. You didn't need to put a shift in. I think this is the problem you've got at the minute. I think you've been found out quite easily this season, but again, you've been found out every season because nothing seems to be changing. It's the same thing every season, and like I said, it's been from Darren Moore onwards. It's the same things, and I don't know how someone like McCann fixes it. I think he can, but I don't know how, and I don't think the problem is that if you just stay up, you're gonna have to do some convincing. If you go down, I think you'll be looking for another manager.
I think he'll walk before he gets sacked. I really do.
I think what you need. Do you think what you need now to Windy? I think you need experience in there to just a few loanies just to give you that experience. I know it's going to cost money, but it's going to be a cost that you need to pay it because going into non-league, it'll kill the club.
It's hard though, because you talk about experience. We've got Richard Wood, who's got bags of experience. Tommy Rowe, Ben Close, all have played numerous games across the EFL. Tom Anderson's experience, but some of these experienced players are just not standing up and being counted, and that's I think that's what hurts most. You've got some young kids or younger players or players who have come up from National League who are. You look at Owen Bailey; he's probably our best player this season. He's put a shift in every single game. I thought he underperformed yesterday, but that's nothing aimed directly at him. I think as a team, we just weren't at it at all.
You don't like got any leaders on the pitch.
Yeah, you said Tommy Rowe.
Sort of credit yesterday is Jones. He made some cracking saves in first half. It could have been double figures. This easy.
You said Tommy Rowe were your captain. I wouldn't have known that.
Yeah, and that's worrying, isn't it? Your captain should be rallying troops, not. Yeah. Soon. I've watched highlights again. I don't know why I put myself through it again, but I did, just to see if what I saw live was actually as easy as it looked, and it was. And as soon as goal goes in, you just see Tommy Rowe heads down, and
there's not that light going like that, is there? It's just everyone's already gone.
There. Yeah,
I think it gets harder, doesn't it? I do have the clip. Do I play it? Oh, fuck it.
It just gets harder and harder.
Hang on, where is it?
It just gets harder and harder. It just keeps getting harder.
He's not wrong.
HID said that we're worse off now than we were with Schofield, and that's the thing. Fans were shouting for McSheffrey's head, Schofield's head. We're not shouting for McCann's. I don't know if we've learnt his lesson in the fact that it's not the manager that's the problem. Leyton Orient's shown that under Richie Wellens, we were poor, and he's very good at Orient, but that's because he's had backing. Yeah. So I think the finger point needs pointing elsewhere. David Blunt's obviously left the club, and Terry Bramall's taken over the chairmanship. So we'll see if there's changes in the summer. I think we need another summer similar budget, if not more. Get rid of some of the deadwood and see where we go. But how much does it become where a rebuild each season is not sustainable, where it needs to be a rebuild with a reshuffle, which is completely different? And that's why I think we need to stick with Grant.
Yeah,
because if we bring somebody else in, Grant's pretty much brought this full squad in. There's there's a core part of the squad which is not his players, and I think they'll be gone sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But we bring another manager in, and they'll want their own players, so it'll be another rebuild.
You have
And
to start again, don't you?
Constant rebuild, starting again like we are. We're just going backwards, and it's hard to watch. It really is. This Sunday live stream is what kind of enables me to get all of this frustration out, and hopefully have a better week. But yeah, we've got Bradford Tuesday, and then tough one. Sutton
that the
away
cup game?
on Saturday.
Is that the cup game on Tuesday?
Yeah, Bristol Street Motors Trophy quarter final.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Lolo said what would happen to Donny if they went down. It'd be
Who
tough.
knows?
I mean, we've got a big stadium. Like ATID says, the National League's class.
Yeah.
Closest it's been to League Two for a long time. So I think we'd struggle. I really do. I don't think it'd be. I mean, like when we dropped down from League One to League Two, we said we were going to bounce back decisively. We finished 18th.
I think you've really struggled in national.
Yeah.
Because
it'd be difficult. Very
Let's
difficult.
talk food though. Look, let's talk food though, Dan. Let's talk about now because you look like you need cheering up, my pal.
Honestly, the food is unreal. Off
I
the
will
field
say
at
something. If
Doncaster
you go
Rovers,
down,
we
you're
are
going to be
doing
able to go to Rochdale and get some decent chips.
But no, food at Donny, like on the field, we're dreadful at the minute. But off field, I think they are working hard. I think you saw it yesterday, Lee. The effort that the team behind the scenes are putting in at the minute, it has to be recognised, and hopefully we're still a League Two club next season, and we push on from a dreadful couple of years and have a really positive season next year. It's got to turn around at some point. We always say that football goes through cycles. You go through peaks and troughs. We're well in the trough at the minute.
If the old guys upstairs obviously perform as well as that chef, who I know his name now, John. The passion and effort he puts into what he produces, I tell you what, it's a credit to Doncaster Rovers because you could tell how much it meant to him.
Yeah, completely agree. The food was phenomenal. Football, not so much. Neil said, how lucky you were to eat in that scran. Yeah, we were. We're very, very lucky. I appreciate Lee inviting me across to that. And yeah, it's first class food. It's beautiful.
Bloody hell, I did not know John was the head chef there. Chopping out.
Yeah.
Not John H. He's still struggling on mushy peas, I think.
I think we need another poll, Dan. Mushy peas, yes or no?
We'll do that one next week.
I think that should be around the ground net T-shirt.
Yeah.
Scran equals good food. It does indeed.
It does.
Right, let's finish on Swindon and Bradford because, sorry Neil, but I've got to die.
You're going to share the pain out, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got to deflect some negativity onto a team which should also be doing well in League Two. I think both sets of fans probably had. Straight in, let's not. I think both sets of fans had expectations or aspirations of playoffs, if not better, this season. And it's just not happened, has it? Obviously, Mark Hughes at the start of the season didn't quite get the team firing on all cylinders. Graham Alexander's come in and it's been hit and miss as well, hasn't it? I think he said earlier that they can't finish the dinner at the minute. He said again, more shots, no clinical finishing for us.
Yeah.
How on earth do you lose to the Swinbreds?
I like that.
But no, not a great day for both of us. So I'll briefly touch on Bradford. Yeah, could be a 0-0 on Tuesday. Could be an absolute enthralling encounter. Ian, do you want to touch on any games before we round off?
Yeah, just one surprise: Salford winning at Crewe, which was a massive surprise. Because Salford have been falling really falling back at another Matt Smith hat trick as well. His second of the season. Can you remember his first, Dan?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it's
John
remove you.
brilliant.
I was really surprised because Crewe were flying and Salford really going help a lather into the relegation area, but
You've proper done me dirty there, Ian. I'm not happy.
I'm sorry about that. But Smith's a unit, isn't he? He's built like a light
hard to
weight
deal with.
boxer. And anything in the air he's going to get on the end of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it would just surprise me that Crew would lose to him.
Yeah.
Seems like seems like Salford deserved it as well. 18 shots, 6 on target. Yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, good result for Salford there. You bastard, Ian.
I thought we weren't supposed to swear on here.
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's something stupid. After 2 minutes, I think YouTube doesn't pick up the swearing, and then it goes. You can you can get it all sorted. I looked into it because I've had to.
There we go. John's got BritBox and he still doesn't understand us lot. Sorry, John, we tried. Jake, any League Two games before we
put in subtitles?
God no. AFC Wimbledon getting a win versus Mansfield Town. I think that come as a bit of a shock. I think you're looking at AFC Wimbledon just going about the business, trying to get things done, and Mansfield Town having a little bit of wobble, we say. A little bit, needing to have that extra couple of players to put it over the line. I know.
Yeah, I mean, they'd only lost one up until a few weeks ago. Obviously, two defeats, 2 draws in the last 4. So they looked unstoppable at one point.
They were cruising at one point, weren't they?
Like you say, just a little bit of a wobble, but I do honestly think Mansfield have got it in them to not be the bridesmaid this year and go up. I really
There's a massive game next Saturday, Mansfield against Notts County.
Oh.
I will say this now. Seeing Stephen Quinn still there, what a massive
Don't like him then, Jake, no?
Oh, Chuffin hate him. Yeah, there's a name for you. There's one for you, John. Look up Chuffin. See if you understand that.
Chuffin. Right, let's round this off because we're well over the hour mark and I'm dying for the toilet. So yeah, let's get it finished off.
All that wine you've been drinking.
Yeah. Forest Green bottom at the minute, but obviously brought Steve Cotterill in. I think that gives them potential.
Gives them a fighting chance.
Yeah, it really does. Sutton just ahead of them on 21 points, and then there's a 7-point gap, but it is precarious. We have got 1 win in 8, 2 wins in 10, I believe. Any other manager would have been gone by now, I think, but we really do just need to. I think we need to be patient and stick with him. I'm saying that.
If you're Dan, look away now. Colchester or Bud Donny.
Not for long though. We've got a game in hand. We'll be all right. Don't you worry.
I think that's what he's more worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a relegation to National League if Colchester finish 24th. Moving to the better end of the table, Stockport obviously stayed top after battering us 5-1. As John said, Wrexham, decent winners, even though they didn't play this weekend, with Mansfield, Barrow and Crewe all dropping points. Mansfield still in third, and then the playoffs, Barrow, Crewe, MK Dons and Notts County. But Wimbledon hot on the tails of Notts County. So yeah, it's going to be interesting coming towards the end of the season. Lovely stuff. Right, let's do the poll first. Let's get on to this. I will end the poll. So,
Where we going?
Have you got a backpack, Ian? You're off now.
Yeah.
I always get to grounds early, but not this early.
I will say this now. I think if this is gonna be a thing, I think I need to put a drum roll on the soundboard.
Get it on. So we've got 26 votes. 35% goes to Oxford, Blackpool versus Oxford. 15 goes to Wigan versus Exeter. So you are on your way to Crewe versus Crawley with 50% of the votes. Lovely stuff.
And you
Thank
have my
for getting
word. I'll
involved in
do that. I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout by John to John H. Go what Kez.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a cracking shout. Well done, John.
Yeah.
So Tim's come in the chat. I've just seen Dan. Please see reason he's got to go. We're getting relegated. Please, we need to start a movement to get him gone. completely disagree, mate. Yeah, it doesn't look good on paper. The table doesn't lie, but who do we
Where do
bring
you-
in? Who do we actually bring in to do a better job? I honestly think you could have Pep Guardiola in the dugout and we'd be exactly where we are now, because you give the best chef in the world shit food and they're not going to serve you a very nice meal, and that's what we've got at the minute. It's hard to take, but I think we need to learn a lesson from appointing Andy Butler, getting rid of him, appointing Richie Wellens, getting rid of him.
How many managers have you had over the last couple of seasons now?
Since Darren Moore, I think we've had 5 in 3 years.
That says it all.
And like I said earlier, you swap and change your manager, you're starting again.
Well done, John.
I'd rather not. But I don't see what we gain from getting rid of him. I think it's part of a project.
There's one good thing. Wayne would like the food, do you?
It would.
Yeah, he would.
Got some grannies knocking about and all, to be fair. If you work
He just needs to go town fields.
A bit of biscuit Billy's on a Saturday night.
That's it. You know. Right, before this goes completely out of control, let's get the predictions up.
Sorry,
So as
Wayne.
always, if you are involved in this or you want to get involved, get your predictions in for next week's games. We start with Rotherham versus Southampton. Ian, start us off, mate.
I'm just looking at the last week's result, and I didn't do too badly at all.
You did all right, to be fair.
Right, okay, let's go with it. Right, I'm going Rotherham 1, Southampton 2. Because I think
3-0 Southampton.
I don't think we'll get battered at home. I think if it were away, I would have been thinking about a 4 or 5 goal battering. But no,
Yeah.
I think Southampton will win, but only just 2-1.
Okay.
Huddersfield against Wednesday. This is a funny one. You know what? I'm going for Huddersfield 1, Wednesday 2.
Thank you, Ian.
Sorry,
I
lads.
thought you were on the way
draw.
there.
Yeah. Posh against Wigan. That's another really interesting game, and Posh are really flying at the moment, but so are Wigan.
Yeah.
But I still think Posh will do it 1-0.
I've gone 2-0 Posh for that one.
Barrow, MK Dons. Both teams on form, but I've seen Barrow twice this season and they've impressed me both times. I think because MK Dons have got so far up to travel to Barrow, I think they'll succumb to a 2-0 Barrow win.
I agree with you on that one. I think the travel will do them 2-0 Barrow for me on that one.
Sutton Rovers. Sutton drawing a lot at the moment. Rovers,
Not.
I don't know. Hang this. I'm going to go Sutton 0, Rovers 1.
Oh, you know what, mate? I'd take that.
Yeah.
I'll go 1-0 Donny as well. We'll certainly take that. Lee.
Southampton 3-0.
Yeah.
Huddersfield Wednesday 1-1. Peterborough to win 3-1.
Yeah.
Barrow to win 2-1. And Sutton Donny 1-1.
Which don't help either out, but I'd probably take it at this point. Jake.
Southampton 3. Wednesday Huddersfield 2-2. Posh 1-0.
Yep.
MK Dons 2-1.
2-1 to MK Dons, yeah?
Yep, and Sutton 2-0.
What are you doing that for? That's horrid.
Yeah, well, it depends what your back ability is like, and what I've seen, you don't have much.
No, we are looking dreadful, to be fair. But no, that brings us to the end of episode 59. Obviously, it's been quite a long one because of the FA Cup sandwiched in between the 3 divisions as well. Obviously, get your comments in for the predictions. If you are involved in that, we'll get the table all sorted out. But yeah, let's go around the screen. Starting with Ian, any final words, mate, while I write everybody's predictions down that's coming?
No, enjoyed it because obviously my club had the day off, so I've enjoyed a bit of neutrality and a therapy session done. Really enjoyed it. Good scream.
Lovely stuff. Lee, any final words, mate?
Top live again from you, Dan. Amazing effort. Great to spend the day with you yesterday. Football
I enjoyed
aside.
it, mate.
Enjoy these lives on a Sunday evening. And stop fating everyone.
Yeah.
Just go and enjoy the football.
Yeah.
And Jake, any final words, mate?
Just support these lads. We all do it because we love it. It's our passion, and I think it's one of those things. Some of these things get harder when you get things that are happening off the field or whether on the field it's going bad. You just got to try and get through it. And the thing is, we do this because we love it. Sometimes you see our frustrations and anger and joy, but at the end of the day, we're doing this because we like talking about our clubs. And at the end of the day, there isn't many there isn't many times where you can enjoy talking about your football club and then doing it with mates where it's all good humor and just having a good chat. And I think the more we do this, the more it shows people that rival fans and other fans can be mates as well and not have to just go into comment sections or see each other in person. And like Lisa, stop fighting, give up, have enough, be nicer to people, have a day off.
Yeah. Spread love, not hate. There we go. I think that's a good message to end on. So yeah, thank you for spending a lot of your Sunday evening with us for episode 59 of the 72 review. Subscribe to all of these guys. Subscribe to me if you haven't already. If you're watching this on repeat as the week goes on, get your comments in the section down below. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching and hopefully enjoying a win next weekend. We'll see you in the next one.